Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on and talk to you about weekly meal planning, planning your list, navigating the grocery store, and kind of planning what you're going to cook. I'm actually meal prepping right now during nap time. But the first thing, I'm currently doing the Ultimate Portion Fix. So the first thing I do is I go to my plan and I redo it every week. Like I don't redo the math every week, but every week I re-look at this book and refresh my memory and go to my plan and see what my plan is and how many containers a day I am going to get. We grocery shop on Sunday. We meal prep on Sunday, we grocery shop on Saturday. So I like to have my list done by Friday night at the latest, because the last thing I want to be doing, we go in the morning, is waking up Saturday morning trying to figure it all out. So I look at my containers, see what I'm gonna get, and then I start with my dinner. I look in my cookbook, see what I wanna cook, because I get my cravings at night the most. And if I have a good dinner that just makes me feel yum, it satisfies that a lot better. So I start there versus picking my breakfast, lunch, and snacks and then getting to dinner and being like, this is all I have left. And it really eliminates that feeling for me and lets you get what you want. So I start with that, and then I look and see what meals I'm going to cook. I always try to cook meals during the week with similar ingredients. That way you're not buying a bunch of things from the grocery store that you're only going to use once and then they're going to go bad, as far as like certain veggie servings or things like that. Also, if I do use a vegetable and I'm only using it once, I add that to my lunch, or I use it as a snack. For example, if I got a tomato for something and the recipe only called for half a tomato, I'd work that other half into my snacks so you're not wasting food. And it's really helpful too if you are on a budget, and just like instilled in me as a child, you don't waste your food. So once I decide what I'm gonna eat, I will write down my dinners and work backwards and pick my lunch and breakfast, and then I fill in my snacks based off of that. And that really works well for me. The next thing is navigating the grocery store. It can be overwhelming sometimes. It can be stressful, especially if you're going with toddlers or husbands who like to pull things off the shelves. I write my list out and I do veggies, fruit, meats, dairy. I do it super simple on a sheet of paper. We do have some pretty ones if you want them that we can share as well. Fats, canned goods, baby, and house. And I write, I write what we need in each section. This is the order, the way my grocery store is set up too. So I'm like walking in, it's filled out, I put it in my cart. I'm that lady with the pin in the grocery store, and I check it off as I go. If you have a toddler, I recommend bringing an extra pin and piece of paper, because if they're anything like mine, they will try to grab it from you, and the worst thing is doing this. But it feels good to check it off as I'm going through the store. I know for the most part I won't forget anything, and then I check it over one time before I leave and make sure that I got everything. And I used to, for years, I'd just like write things as they came to my mind. And I do always have a running list so I can remember everything. But what I do now is before I go to the store, I put it in the order of the list. I take that running list, I make a list before my list, but it just helps me a lot, and it keeps me relaxed, and it makes it easier. So that way on Saturday, we have everything we need, and I can meal prep on Sunday without any problems. One thing I always do too is we always, like, family will come visit and we'll get like wheat pasta or different things like that. And if you feel like your pantry is overfilled with food like that, look and see what you have and see what healthy meals you can make from that. Like we had some corn, black beans, ground beef, and I made taco stuff in the crock pot. I know April has shared a similar recipe before, and it also helped me clean it out. But just go planned, and always start with your dinner is my biggest tip. Thanks.